the mistake which we were making is I was interchanging the start and the end date. So in that case, I was getting an error. Let me change it. So date difference. Okay. So Excel asked me for a start date. I give it a start date. It asked me for an end date, and it asked me for which condition. So I say month. Okay. Let me change this formatting to general. Okay. So yeah, so you see 51. So basically 51 is nothing but there are 51 months difference between this two date. Okay, that is date as on uh, cell number B7 and that was as on B8. So remember that with date difference, the syntax is that you first use the start date then the end date rather than other way around. Okay. Similarly, if I want to calculate the difference between two dates, as I told you that Excel always represents a date as a serial number, which is the number of days. So I can simply calculate the day difference as subtracting the two dates. Okay, that's one option. The another option is I use this date difference function. Okay, I give it a start date, I give it an end date. Okay, and I say D. D stands for the days difference. So I want to calculate what is the difference in number of days from in the given two dates, and we get our answer. Right. Similarly, if I want to see the difference in the number of years, so I use the same formula with a y this time. Okay, so the function argument will be y. Fine. So I get that there is a 4 years difference between the given two dates. Fine. Now let me okay. So if I want to just calculate the difference in the number of days while ignoring the year, so basically what I'm saying is forget the year, but what is the difference between 8th of Feb and 25th of May? Okay, so how many days difference is there between 25th of May and 8th of Feb? So in that case, I use date difference. Okay, yes, you can guess that I will use the argument called YD. Okay, so if I put YD now, so it will give me 106. So basically, between 25th May and 8th of Feb, there are 106 days. Okay. Similarly, let's say if I want to calculate the difference in month between this two date. Okay, so we can see the answer here is 3, but I can do the same calculation using the date difference formula. I give it a start date, I give it an end date. Okay, and as an argument I mention MD. Okay, sorry, YM. So ignoring the year, please give me the month. Okay, so it gives me 3. Similarly, the last thing, I can calculate the number of days. Okay, so that is the difference between 25th and 8th. So I ignore the month, I ignore the year. So again, I can use a date difference function for that. Okay, I give it a start date and end date, and I say as an argument, I say MD. Okay, so MD will ignore the month, it will ignore the year, and it will only give you the difference in the days. So you can see that there are 17 days difference between 25th and 8th. Right, again the standalone functions, guys, stands very simple and boring, but so for some of you the application of these functions will be very high once you know this formula. Okay, so now if you just want to calculate the difference in the days ignoring the month and the year, you have to use this command. Right, so let me just take some random and weird questions to understand the application, although not the real application, but just let's play around with this formula for a while. So I want to know, let's say this is my birth date. Okay, of course, definitely this is not my original birth date, but I want to look younger, and this is the date as on today. Fine. So I want to see, or I want to calculate how many days I have lived so far. Okay, so you know that in Excel, since the date is represented as a day, I can just simply subtract this with this, and I can calculate the number of days I have lived, or I can also use the date difference function. Okay, so I can simply use a date difference function. Okay, I give it a start date and I give it an end date, and I say calculate the number of days in between. Fine. Okay, I have to give D in inverted commas. Okay, so I say calculate the number of days for me. Fine. So till date, that is as on 3rd Feb 2015, I have lived for 10,187 days. Okay. Number of months I have lived. Now you know, yeah, you have to exactly do the same thing, that you have to use the date difference function. Okay, with a start date and end date and M as an argument. Clear? So I have lived for 334 months till now. Okay, I want to see how old I am. Okay, so I don't use the word old for me. I take it very personally. So I use the word how young I am. So in that case, yes, you're absolutely right. We will use the year calculation. So I say date difference, okay, between the start date, the end date, and I want to calculate the number of year. Okay. Fine. So I am 27 year young. Okay, now this is very important and interesting. I want to see when is my next birthday. Everyone, each one of us is excited about her birthday. So of course I know it by heart that when is my next birthday, but I want Excel to calculate and throw up the answer for me. So in this case, I will use a very logical formula. I say date. Okay, so I pull the date from this date. Okay, I say okay, sorry, from the I want it to calculate the date. So I say pull the year from okay my birth date rather, or I can say I can just simply say use this plus 1. Okay, so this will be the year, or yeah, so my year will be okay, no, it will, but it will give me 2018 only. So I can say pull the, sorry guys, yeah, I can say pull the year from today's date, okay, and add 1 to it. Fine. No, again that will not be logical. Fine. We can do that. We will say pull the year from my birth date and add my age to it. That will give us the logical year. Fine. Then I say to calculate the month, month will remain same no matter which year it is. So I will say pull the month from my date of birth and finally pull the day from my date of birth. Right. So it will throw us the answer. It will give us a date as a final output. The year will be the year I was born plus how old I am plus 1. Oh, yes. Plus 1 because I want to calculate my next birth date. Okay, so you see that my next birthday comes on 15th March 2015. Yes, I will send you the address for the gift. Don't worry. Okay, so let's move on. Now I want to see again, I am a very excited young teenager, so I want to see that how many days are left before I receive my birthday gift. Okay, so this is a simple calculation. I just subtract the day of my next birthday minus today. Okay, or rather I can use the function directly here, today, and I get my, let me change the format to general. So there are only 40 days left before I receive my birthday gift. How many months are left before my birthday? So I will use the date difference function. Okay, sorry, my mistake. So I use the date difference and I give it a starting date. The starting date is nothing but today. Okay, the end date is my next birthday and I want to calculate month. So okay, I keep forgetting the inverted commas. Fine, so you see that only 1 month is left to my birthday. Fine. Okay, now this was a month. This is a term which was coined by one of my friend and I found it very interesting. It's called montheswari. Okay, yes, I also laughed out my heart. Like we have anniversary which we celebrate every year. Okay, so there are young couples who now have started celebrating montheswari. That is, celebrating their birthday every month, or not birthday, but rather celebrating their marriage every month. Okay, on the same date. So I want to see how many days to my monthly birthday celebration. Okay, which we call montheshwari. So I basically want to see when is the next 15th, how many days to the next 15th of the next month. So yes, you're absolutely right. I will use the date difference function. Okay, I give it a starting date which is as on today. Okay, and I give it a ending date and I ask is to calculate the MD. So MD will calculate the number of days while ignoring the, okay, again, yeah, I will not make this mistake this time, put it in inverted commas. So it will ignore the year and the month and just simply give you the difference in 2 days. So it says that 12. So 12 days are left to my montheshwari. Yeah. Anyway, so moving on to some more date functions which we have in Excel. So if you want to calculate which weekday is, whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so you can use the formula called weekday. Okay, so weekday will tell you which particular day of the week it is. Okay, so by default it will not display Tuesday, but it will display a numeric data. But all you can do is you can go to the custom formatting and change it to DDDD. So we have already studied in the last class that to display the full spelling of the weekday, you have to use the format 4 times D. So I have changed it to the custom format, and now it's displaying the day of the week for me. Okay, similarly, let's say I want to calculate the number of working days between 2 days. Okay, so I use net work days formula. I hope I am spelling it right. No, that's why it's not giving. Okay, so here it is. So net working days, and I give a tab. Okay, I give it a start date. This is my start date. This is my end date. Okay, and holidays is optional. We'll see it in the next tab. But right now, let me just calculate that starting from in this year, the current year, how many days I have worked, and it says you have only worked for 24 days. That is the number of working days for only 24. Right, but again, as you're absolutely right that in between there might be certain holidays. Okay, so Excel also allows you that as an argument. So I give net work days, I give it a start date, I give it an end date. Okay, and as a third argument, as you can see within brackets, that Excel is saying that if you have a list of holiday, please let us know. Okay, so I give it a reference to 23rd Jan, which was a holiday in Kolkata, and I also give it 26th Jan. So I give it a range of holidays where I have listed on the holidays, and I press enter. Oh yeah, okay, because I have shifted it to 28. So it says that you will be only working for 40 days by the end of 28th Feb. Right, so basically we are studying the net working days, how to calculate the net working days between 2 dates. Okay, similarly there is something called work day. A work day will simply help you calculate the work day. So it asks you for a start date, and it asks number of days. Okay, so let's say again, as I have given an example, so my bank says that let's say my check will be deposited after 3 working days. So I want to know on which date my check will be deposited. So I calculate the work day. Again, if I want, I can give it a list of holiday. Okay, so if the holiday list fall between the given date, it will include it, else it will not. So it doesn't include any of this holiday because these are all gone. So if I deposit a check on 3rd Feb, it will be credited by 6th of Feb. Okay, assuming that there are no more holidays between that. Okay, coming to the last part of this date function. This is just it's not actually a date function, but just to tell you one of the application of the date function. Let's say I am creating a file and I want to calculate which quarter is this. Based on the date, I want Excel to calculate the quarter, which quarter is it. So is it the first quarter of the financial year, second quarter, third quarter, etc. So I simply say, first I will say round up. Okay, we'll see why we are using the roundup function. It says number, so I say please calculate the month. Okay, so from the given date, calculate the month. Okay, so month will be either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 to 12. It can be any data, and I say divided by 4. Right. So if let's say if the month is 2, 2 divided by 4 will give me a decimal value, and since I'm using a roundup, so it will round it up to the nearest integer. So have I entered too many arguments for it? I say month of a given date. Okay, round up number. Okay, excuse me. So I give it a comma and I say number of digit to 0. Will it work now? Yes. Okay, so it's giving me the rounded up. So let me change the date for you and let's see whether it still works or not. So let me give a date of let's say 31st May. Okay, so I say 05/31/2015. Okay, so this is the second quarter for us. Right, so what basically Excel is doing, what we are doing in this formula is we are first asking Excel to pull out the month from the given date, and then we are asking it to divide it by 4. So once it divided by 4, we are asking it to round it up to the nearest integer, right? So okay, my mistake, it will not be divided by 4, but it will be divided by 3 because each quarter is 3 months. Sorry, my mistake. So it will divide it by 3 and will round it up to the nearest integer, which will give you the number of the quarter in which we are trending correctly. Okay, if you want to do a final check, let me change the date to let's say 11th. Okay, 30th November 2015, and you see that it lies in the 4th quarter. Right, so this is some of the things which we can use our date function for. These are the easy functions, but again, those who need this application, it might be very, very useful to them. Thank you guys, and have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.